Diddy has said this. He said, when I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready. That people have to take IVs. Remember the time that him and his mama kissed each other on the lips? Do you remember that both of them was getting an IV at the same time? That's from the Diddy Freak Off party.
Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Let's go. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. Hey, hey, hey.
And they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber.
Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that?
Former bodyguard Gene Deal, who worked closely with Diddy during the peak of the Bad Boy era, is now making disturbing allegations about what he claims happened behind closed doors in the music industry. According to Deal, he witnessed an environment where powerful men exploited young artists, including figures like Usher and Justin Bieber, who were publicly presented as protégés, but allegedly treated as commodities in private. He describes parties that began innocently but quickly became inappropriate, with young talent surrounded by influential adults who crossed boundaries while the public saw only glamorous success. Deal also claims that Diddy obsessively recorded events and interactions, suggesting there could be compromising footage involving major celebrities such as Ashton Kutcher and Jay-Z, who were part of his social circle. He alleges that this network included elite figures like Leonardo DiCaprio, forming a powerful clique with shared secrets. In light of Diddy's recent arrest on serious federal charges, Deal's long-standing claims are being reconsidered as possible warnings about a hidden culture of exploitation within the entertainment industry.
This story starts when I'm with Puff and he's in exotic bookstores and he's doing shopping, right? He's shopping, getting his stuff and everything like that. So, you know, this is the first time I was ever in an exotic bookstore with Puff. So, you know, I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that because they gave him a brown paper bag. When they gave him a brown paper bag, he was just putting stuff in there. So I said, damn, you know, he got to go put it on the counter and, you know, show everybody what he's getting. So as he's going, I'm just looking at the places where he's picking stuff from. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side. And then he picked like quite a few of them down. I was like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there and it said butt plugs. And I was like, hey, yo. I was messing with him. Because people don't understand, you know, we was like friends. He was a part of the same gang. So I'm still gonna tease him. I'm still gonna mess with him and everything like that. I could do that. It wasn't just no security thing. So I said, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said butt plugs. And he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you could do it by yourself, brother. And he started walking and everything like that. So when he got I just waited at the counter. So when he got to the counter, he didn't even have to show the guy nothing. He just gave the guy a wad of money. I mean, like he gave the guy a stack, something like this. And Puff wasn't the dude that carried no 20s and no 50s and nothing like that. And I mean, like, he just said, boom. And we walked out the store. Later on that, I think that afternoon, same day, this rapper and him, they all in the room together. You know, it's Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude, this rapper. So I'm here at the door and stuff like that, like, yeah. So then next thing you know, somebody rang the doorbell. We had the presidential suite where we was at. So I opened the door and the dude said, yo, I'm here for my cousin. I said, who your cousin? He said, Ja Rule. I said, well, he busy right now. He said, "You busy doing what?" I said, "He with Puff. They're in the room. They busy. They don't want to be bothered." He said, "Well, I'm going in there." I said, "Bro, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them." He was like, "Yo, I don't care, man. I'm going in there." That boot like that. I said, "Yo, bro, Jesus Christ had to come down here and take the air out of my body before you get in that room right there. Watch." He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed it and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, "Yo, what's going on? Yo, Gene, that's my cousin." He know me well, and Puff was like, "Yo, Gene, what happened?" I said, "He tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room." He was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, "Yo," Ja said, "You ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on." So I was like, "Oh," he said it was a lot of freaking going on. So that was basically that story, man. You know what I'm saying? They went back in the room. Dude felt a certain kind of way.
Deal says he is not surprised by the charges against Diddy, arguing that authorities had known about alleged misconduct for years, but failed to intervene. He expresses frustration that action only came in 2024 despite what he claims was widespread awareness behind the scenes. His comments have prompted renewed scrutiny of Diddy's relationships with young artists, particularly Usher, who lived with him as a teenager, and Justin Bieber, who was frequently seen around him while still underage. What had once been framed as mentorship now appears troubling to many observers, raising questions about whether these young performers were simply guided in their careers or exposed to inappropriate environments. Deal also recounts hearing a disturbing rumor during his time in Diddy's circle involving a young boy allegedly injured after an encounter with the mogul, though he emphasizes he did not witness it himself. The resurfacing of such claims alongside current legal proceedings has intensified public concern about patterns of alleged abuse.
Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, Nick was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened. And that's just, that's something that you heard. You don't know if it's true, you just heard it. So, and just to hear this, and this new thing where they saying that they got kids coming forward and said that he did that, man, that's just crazy. And like I just said, that's just something that I heard. It's something that I didn't know. It's something that I ain't see. A lot of people want to, because Gene Deal has spoken on certain things that I've heard, I have spoken on it. But then they were just trying to say, I know. No, I'm not scared to say what I heard. And if there's any truth to it, then it's truth to it. Let them find it. Things that I've saw or things that I've witnessed and been a part of, I've said it. I'm not afraid to say what I saw or what I didn't see. A lot of people want to make up shit. I don't make up things. When I say Puff go in the room with two girls, you understand, and another guy and a rapper, and then all of a sudden they cousin try to go in the room, I throw them up against the piano, they run out the room grabbing towels and they naked. They still had two girls in the room. But people want to make up a lot of bullshit and say what they want to say and flip it the way they want to.
Deal maintains that he speaks only about what he personally saw or what was directly relayed to him, rejecting accusations that he fabricates stories. He says the rumor involving Usher stayed with him because it fit a broader pattern he perceived. Young, promising artists placed in isolated, adult-dominated settings under the control of powerful figures. Beyond these claims, Deal has also raised unsettling concerns about Diddy's relationship with his mother, Janice Combs. He alleges that their public displays of affection masked a far more volatile private dynamic and even suggested psychological issues in Diddy's behavior toward her. Deal claims that a former Bad Boy Records president once told him he saw Diddy physically assault her, and he further alleges that Janice herself may have been involved in facilitating aspects of Diddy's alleged misconduct through a modeling operation he characterizes as a front. These assertions, though unproven, add another layer to the broader accusations surrounding Diddy's personal and professional life.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time.
Right here?
Yeah, it's gonna be yours. So every time you come in LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, I'll get the first shot in this.
Man.
Cut that out. Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, get your seat.
I mean, I'm 15, you could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
Alright, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Slow down. Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion.
Yeah.
Alright. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go get some girls.
Man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
The relationship between Justin Bieber and Diddy has drawn particular scrutiny. Bieber entered the industry as a young teenager and was publicly portrayed as being mentored by the older mogul. However, archived footage of Bieber preparing to spend 48 hours with Diddy, during which Diddy spoke about exposing him to adult luxuries and relationships, has resurfaced and now appears troubling in hindsight. Critics argue that Bieber, still a minor, was placed in adult social settings involving parties, alcohol, and sexualized conversation, environments many believe were inappropriate for his age. These interactions were once framed as part of Bieber's transition into stardom, but are now being reevaluated amid broader allegations about Diddy's conduct.
When you get 16, you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion.
Yeah.
All right. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours?
Deal describes Diddy as someone who exercised control by exposing young proteges to adult experiences and allegedly pressuring them to replicate those behaviors with others, creating cycles of humiliation and dependence. He connects this pattern to both Bieber and Usher, noting that Usher previously acknowledged being introduced to adult situations while living with Diddy as a teenager. Deal claims this environment, sometimes referred to as flavor camp, was presented as teaching boys how to socialize and succeed, but in practice exposed minors to premature sexuality and power dynamics. As lawsuits and allegations against Diddy continue to emerge, observers are re-examining these early mentorship relationships, questioning whether young artists like Bieber and Usher were guided toward success or subjected to manipulation. What once appeared to be celebrity sponsorship now looks, to critics, like part of a troubling pattern involving vulnerable youth and unchecked industry power.